This is a review of the Ultrafryer high efficiency fryer with Ultra Clear Plus filtration. This is the Ultrafryer 2-well system, and note the computer controls 1 through 10 can be programmed for time, and temperature is the same across all 10 units. And note 1, very simple, is traditionally set for chicken, about a 12.5-minute cook. And note the drain levers and the vat return levers for each unit. These are both independent units that operate on their own. Here's the control panel for the Ultrafryer system. And note the off and heat switch. Very simple in the lower left-hand corner. And we'll show you the switch. To the right is off, to the left is on. And here is the wash switch. To the left, the wash is on. To the right, the wash is off. This is in the off position. That is the on position. And the off position. Note marine-edged 304 stainless steel everywhere on the unit, built to last, and the Energy Star rating on all of Ultrafryer's fryers. The well is 304 stainless steel, fully welded, strong well, and insulated for better heat control and longer life. And note the burners. This is the chicken burner, 85,000 BTU. Gives you a slower cook, but a more even cook for the chicken. And here is the high performance well for cooking fries, onion rings, egg rolls, and other quick cook items. The design on the right is for floating product. The design for the left is basketed product. And very simply, 2 baskets fit in the well and simply dropped in. This is the rack for the floating of chicken. Very simple, chicken is dropped in. This is the rack for the basketed fry side, and this is the high performance side. These 2 wells can be matched up, either all chicken or all fry. This is the flue. Incoming gases are fired at 3,000 degrees and only 500 degrees of air leaves the unit through the flue. In a designed system, it utilizes all of the gas and turns out very little exhaust temperature. Here are the 2 baskets set, and you'll note on the right is the floating well for the chicken. And like all Ultrafryer fryers, the front panel will lift off for easy reach for maintenance and may stop having to pull the unit away from the wall to get to any of the controls, simply repaired. Here is the fry filtration area, and notice the drain lever. It will go into the vertical position when you're draining, either one, and these are independent of each other. And the vat return, when it's vertical, oil will be returning up into the well. And for the wash wand, the vertical position will put it in play. And here's where the wash wand goes. This is its socket, and very simply it's slid in. This is the grease catch that may catch some drippage that may come from the filtration. And note the hose system. This is the hose that will pump the oil back up into the vats. And it works for both units. And note the caster's heavy duty with locking fronts and all 12-gauge stainless construction. Here's the filtration system installed. Very simple and clean to get to and to pull out, very easy to clean and replace. And now we'll show you the different filters. This is the crumb filter for the large crumbs. This is a small crumb, and this is the filter to the filter element, the lowest part of the filtration system. This is where all of the filtration will take place on the fine materials, and the oils will be pumped back up into the fryer through the filter line and simply reinstalled, sliding back in. Very easy to handle and no hot surfaces. And here we're taking apart the filtration system. That's the filtration tube. We'll take off the filter paper clip that holds the filter paper tight for filtration. And we'll lift out the filter screen that is inside the filter envelope. And there are the 4 components to the filtration system. Very simple. And we'll show you the return and put it back together again. This is the clip for the filter. And we'll slide the filtration grid into the filter envelope, lining up the threaded socket, folding over the filter paper for a nice tight fit so we're not carrying any particles up into the pump. We'll slide that down. And lastly, putting the filter arm back in place. That is the device that carries the oil from the filter up into the vats. And that is the way it's constructed, and daily that will be done. This is the control system for programming. We have a 10 program unit, we have a 2 program unit, and a knob style, any one of the 3. This is the explanation of the fully computerized 10 program operation. First step is to push program, which will take it from the off to program. And we need to touch program again, and we'll type in the code, which is 1724, and hit program again, and it'll say recipe, and now we'll go into changing the recipes. Now, all of the temperatures have to be set the same, so if we change number 1 temperature, we have to change each one of the programs 1 through 10. Okay, now program, we touch 1, and then program again, and again, and we're at temp, and it's going to show us the temp is 330 degrees. We want to change it to 350, touch 0, which is over the 10, 3, 5, 0 again, and hit program. It has been programmed. Now, program 2, touch program again for name, again for time, and again for temp. We're at temp, and we're going to change this one to 350 degrees also, the same way we did number 1. 0 over the 10, 3, 5, 0, hit program. We'll go through program again, program again, program again, program again, and again. And now we're at all, and we would hit the up and then the program, and that would allow us to be complete with the memory. If we only had 2 programs in there, we will have changed the temperature on the 2 programs. And now hit the arrow again and the program, and we're out. And then again the program to be off. And note the other controls. Each one of the controls below can be reviewed in your owner's manual. They are the scan, the enter-exit filter, the temp toggle clear, the hold, the setback, and the exit melt, all explained in the owner's manual. Here's a lineup of 3 baskets. We're going to drop 1 basket of fries in, and then we'll touch the program, and it's a 3.5-minute cook. And you'll note when we dropped it in, a little shake to make sure nothing is stuck. Now we'll leave it for 3.5 minutes. And when it beeps, we'll lift out. And there is an optional auto lift system available for these same fryers also. Note how golden brown and crisp those fries look, and ready to be served in 3.5 minutes. Here we're dropping 3 baskets of chicken and touching the program number 2. On the left and right are frozen wings. On the center is a frozen tender, and they'll cook for about 5.5 minutes. When it beeps, it's time to lift and hang on the rail to allow drainage on each one of the products. And here they are, wings on either side, left and right, and the tenders in the center. Ready to be served, beautifully golden brown. These are the wings. And these are the tenders. Piece of chicken, make sure that you pull the skin up so that there's breading all the way through into the breading, press down, toss, and then knock the extra breading off. And we're going to segregate by part because we load the fryer by part. We're folding the wing, as is the best way to fry a wing for consistency. We'll dust and then shake off the extra. Now with the leg again, we're going to pull the skin down into the breading, toss and press, tap for extra breading off, and we're organizing by part. With the thigh, we always break the joint on the thigh before breading, tossed into the breading and pressed, shaken off, and then segregated by part. The breast, try to pull the skin as best possible over the whole piece. Into the breading, push down, toss, push down, and then tap off the extra breading. And here's the chicken ready to be dropped into the fryer. This is going to be a float of chicken, not using a basket. And note we drop thighs first, breasts second, legs third, wings fourth. And notice we're dropping it away from the operator so that there's no splash of oil. And each piece, as it's dropped before it reaches the bottom, will be sealed so there'll be no sticking. And so we're dropping each one of the pieces in. And once they're in, the chicken will start to cook. And you've touched the timer at 12.5 minutes. The chicken should be golden brown and floating. There will be some steam coming off the chicken. It's normal as the chicken cooks and releases moisture. And now we're going to use the spider to check the temperature. 180 degrees is the correct temperature. And this has not reached temp yet, so we will drop it back in and give it just a little more. And now we've reached the 180 plus, and notice in the drain area we're turning the chicken on the spider to allow some of the oil to be returned to the vat. And we're going on to an LTS system by BKI for the draining and prep for boxing or going into racks into a merchandiser. Look at how golden brown that chicken is. That was a 12.5 minute cook. Absolutely beautiful. Notice the breading crisp on both sides, beautifully finished, 180 plus degrees, safe, flavorful, and wonderful. Now here's the filtering process. Very simply done. The first thing to remember is you don't do any filtering With the elements on, we're shutting it off completely. If you didn't do this, as you emptied the oil, the vats would overheat and a possibility of fire. We're going to drain, slowly drain, go to 50%, and then full on the drain. That would be vertical handle on the drain lever, and that will drain the well. And you'll note the oil going down. And there it is draining into the filtration system, picking up the large crumbs in the first filter of 3-filter step. When the oil has gone down the drain into the filtration system, you will lift out the wire rack with your hook that is supplied with the unit. And here we are putting in the filter hose, pushes into the socket, snaps in position, and then there's a latch that makes sure it's tight, can't be pulled out. Now you're ready to go through the filtration side. And we're taking the rack out here, and be careful, this is going to be hot. This should go directly to the wash. And notice the collateral particulates on the element, and that will go away as we handle the cleaning process. Now, for the wash wand, it needs to be in the vertical position, and make sure you're holding the hose with the other hand over the well. We'll put it in position, and that is the position that it should be in. And lastly, we will start the wash. Switch to the left. Oil will now spray out. Make sure you hold it with the blue plastic handle and not the metal hose. We're spraying over all the elements and down the sides to get all of the crisps and the particulates down the drain. Once you've completed that, shut the wash wand up horizontally to stop oil from being flushed through the hose. We'll now move the vat return lever to vertical, and that will start the oil being scrubbed in the filtration system, and the oil will start returning to the well. And you'll note here it's starting to fill. And you'll see how beautiful the oil will be after the filter, clean and ready for the next cook. Now we'll make sure that we close the drain lever after about 3 minutes of scrubbing the oil to the horizontal position, and the vat return lever to the vertical. We'll make sure the rack is in place before bringing the oil up into the well. The oil is starting up into the well now. And notice how clean and golden it is. You can see down to the bottom of the vat. You'll note the bubbling in both corners. That's telling you that the filtration system has sent all of the oil up. You let it run for about 15 or 20 seconds more to make sure that all of the oil is up. Then take the vat return lever and put it horizontal, which will close everything off. You're now ready to fry. That has been a presentation of the Ultrafryer High Efficiency Fryer with Ultra Clear Plus Filtration. For more information, please contact Ultrafryer customer service at 1-800-545-9189.